I'm out here and I'm myself and I'm not gonna be anybody else.
So we know him best for his series of blockbuster comedies.
And you landed on McLovin. I was young, right? I'm in these big comedies. I'm put in this box. You make people laugh. It is very hard for them to see you not make them laugh.
Oh, I thought you were just a kid that was in wacky movies.
Are you the fat guy in Hollywood still?
Do you have any other questions? A lot of people who are funny are making a joke in order to avoid saying what they actually feel.
2004, Southern California. A young actor named Jonah Hill arrives on set of the new Judd Apatow movie, 40-Year-Old Virgin.
We found Jonah because he's actually originally a 40-Year-Old Virgin.
So I'd just rather buy him from you, straight up.
He was like brilliant. It was like one of these like, oh, this guy's like leagues funnier than most people you encounter.
Having such a big impact with such a small role allowed Jonah the opportunity to audition for Seth Rogen's next major picture, Superbad.
And we started writing Superbad when we were in high school.
Well, what's great about this movie is that Seth and Evan started working on it when they were like 13 years old.
It basically took us so long to get the movie made that I like aged out of the role, essentially.
Seth was originally going to play the character named Seth, obviously.
But I wanted to play Seth, surprisingly.
I could not play 18-year-old convincingly anymore.
You see, during the casting process, Seth Rogen had found his Evan pretty quickly with Michael Cera. However, he'd struggled to cast himself. Well, that was until Jonah Hill auditioned.
He kept on trying to convince us to put him in Superbad, and we were just like, no, like, you're too old.
He looks 27. No, like, you're all crazy. You've all lost your mind.
I remember literally one day we like had him come to like into my trailer and like filmed him on like a camcorder.
I could be allergic to pussy juice, I don't know.
And then he went in and he recorded the scene. It was hilarious. And of course we all said, how come we didn't think of that from day one?
Despite having never led a movie, Rogen knew Jonah's potential, so cast him as Seth.
This is Jonah. He's sort of the star of the film.
Hill knew this was his opportunity to establish his comedic talent, and he wasn't going to disappoint.
I just turned to Jonah and I just said, I guess you're the star of Superbad.
How old are you?
It was like my college experience. 22.
You certainly are.
But I was 22 or 23 and been out of high school for a while. Oh, okay. And I went back and lived in my high school room with my parents while we were shooting. Will that do?
Certainly will.
From the crew to the cast, everyone, it was all people we hung out with in real life.
No, it's fun. This is a lot of fun and everyone's really nice.
The experience matched what people like about the movie.
Superbad turned into a smash hit, earning a cult-like following, and subsequently launched Jonah Hill into a household name.
This is in a lot of ways when I watch it like the Jonah Hill show.
It has been a super good year at the box office thanks to movies like Superbad.
Everybody your age in this town dreams of, boy, wouldn't it be nice to be Jonah.
That movie was a big deal. I mean, I remember seeing that and thinking Jonah Hill was awesome after that.
Totally.
After that came out, yeah.
So many great lines. He carries the movie.
The middle finger to the DVD camera.
I mean, one year we couldn't get jobs, and the next year Seth and I were presenting an Academy Award together.
In the years following Superbad, Jonah established himself as a powerhouse in comedy.
Jonah Hill, he's best known for an absurd list of different comedy movies. Just to list a few: Superbad, Knocked Up, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, 21 Jump Street. Let's put it this way, there is not a single movie that Jonah Hill has acted in or taken part in that hasn't made you literally pee in your pants from laughter.
Jonah had a very respectable and profitable career on his hands. However, he simply wasn't satisfied. Things had become too easy for him. He needed to reignite that spark of excitement.
Well, after Superbad had come out, you know, I got to this place which every actor really dreams of, which is where you don't have to audition it. You can be in a film and the film will get made. It is easy and comfortable to stay in a certain niche. Whatever you come out of the gate as and you're first imprinted in people's minds as, it's really hard for people to see you as anything other than that forever. But that's not all I'm trying to do.
Jonah had achieved all that could be done in comedy. He now needed a role that would really push him as an actor, so he came up with a plan.
The first phone call I made after Superbad, I made a list of filmmakers I really admired and said, hey, they're gonna pay for movies if I act in them. What do you have?
Two of those filmmakers were the Duplass brothers with a new film called Cyrus.
And they had Cyrus, and they were like, do you want to play this really weird character? And I'm Cyrus.
Cyrus, yeah.
Her son?
Her son, yeah, I know, yeah.
extraordinarily different than anything I've ever done.
Cyrus was Jonah's first attempt at a dramatic role and was generally well received. However, fans still found it hard to see him as anything but the big guy in comedies.
Was it ever hard to get people to take you serious as an actor after doing so many comedic roles?
Of course. I think it's the one thing that's actually really interesting is that if you make people laugh, it is very hard for them to see you not make them laugh. People don't like change. It seemed like I was eager to shed my skin, like whatever that meant, like get out of whatever box I was in.
Jonah just needed that one role that really showcased his talents in a way no one else had ever seen.
Traffic in one part of Toronto came to a full stop today for the world premiere of Moneyball.
It is an epidemic failure within the game to understand what is really happening.
Jonah Hill threw a curveball at his fans, taking that role as Brad Pitt's sidekick in the movie Moneyball.
And how did you become involved with the film?
I was on the bottom of a laundry list of fine dramatic actors, and I had just done this movie Cyrus, and Bennett and Brad were willing to give me an opportunity to do something completely different.
Directed by Bennett Miller, Moneyball was the perfect opportunity for Jonah to prove himself in a role where he was completely unrecognizable.
Like Moneyball was so different from your persona in some of your other pictures.
And now I really am excited to just focus on stretching myself as a dramatic actor.
But how about the pressure?
Up until this point, Jonah had worked with some pretty big names, but none of them really compared to Brad Pitt. This was finally his opportunity. The question was, would he perform?
You know, the first day of rehearsals, I was really nervous.
First job in baseball.
But I was like, I can either be really freaked out,
It's my first job anywhere,
or I can kick my nerves to the curb for a second.
People are overlooked for a variety of biased reasons and perceived flaws.
And try and deliver for these people who took a chance on giving me an opportunity to do something truly different.
With Moneyball opening on the 23rd of September 2011, it's fair to say not only did Jonah perform, he truly excelled.
Oh, I saw you with that Brad Pitt. You were going toe-to-toe with him. It was great.
Because you don't know when you start making a movie, you don't know that you're going to be considered for awards in that circuit.
But Moneyball has been good for Jonah Hill. He is an Oscar nominee for Best Supporting Actor.
And to get, you know, these nominations and things like that, I guess it's just more of a stamp of approval, like you can do this other kind of thing.
With the Academy Award nomination and having seen every film you've been in, I realize you're in fact a true actor.
Through his hard work and determination, Jonah Hill was finally a name up there with some of the greats. However, all of this fame and acclaim came at a steep personal cost.
You've said in the past you were not good at being a famous person.
Well, I never wanted to be famous, or, you know, I never thought about Oscars and things like that.
Are you crying?
You said for most of your young adult life, you listened to people telling you that you were fat, gross, and unattractive.
No, I just have something in both my eyes.
So did you feel like people were, like you were a joke in Hollywood?
Look at you. Look at me.
Are you the fat guy in Hollywood still?
Do you have any other questions?
With such a rapid rise, it's expected that Hill would have his critics. However, it seemed like the whole world took notice of the actor.
Like, yeah, I was this like fat, funny comedian, and people could just like trash me, or, you know, like a lot of people who are funny are making a joke in order to avoid saying what they actually feel, or avoid a real feeling or dealing with that feeling.
In 2011, after the success of Moneyball, Jonah decided it was time for a change, so took a year out and came back with a completely new look.
Brian Says Com from Beaumont in Texas asks, Jonah, you lost some weight recently.
You're looking good. How do you keep that physique?
I mean, you look great. Everybody wants to know what made you make the change.
You just a certain time where you go, all right, it's time to be a responsible adult.
Wow.
You've got to be stop being a kid at some point.
Jonah was now in the best spot of his career thus far, and there was one man in particular that was taking notice.
I always loved comedy, but I was more into movies like, you know, Goodfellas and stuff like that. And Martin Scorsese is my actual creative hero. That's the reason I got into movies.
In 2012, Martin Scorsese attended the Academy Awards, where he would bump into Jonah Hill.
I had met Martin Scorsese at the Oscars when I was nominated for Moneyball.
And so I had seen Moneyball and all that sort of stuff.
No, actually, I see that car around. I see it around a lot.
And I went up and I was just like, Goodfellas is the best.
I think we live in the same building. Oh, shit.
About 2 weeks later, I got a call from my agent saying I was at the bottom of a list of far better and more accomplished actors to star opposite Leo.
Johnny Azoff.
Hey, George Belfort, nice to meet you.
As far as Jonah Hill is concerned, yeah, I met him in Mexico, and he basically said to me, I'm the man for this job.
What do you do, bro?
The only problem with this one is everyone else more famous than me wanted to play him as well.
You make a lot of money?
And I said, no, I hear you. He's like, no, you don't understand. This is my favorite script I have ever read in my life.
70,000 last month.
Get the fuck? I was like, I have to play this guy. I don't care who else gets this part. I will kill them, and then I'll get to play the part.
You made 72 grand in 1 month.
Immediately called Marty. Said, there's an actor out there that really feels like they're the person for the job.
You show me a pay stub for $72,000 on it, I quit my job right now and I work for you.
Jonah was so committed to landing the part of Donny Azoff and working with his idol that he did something unprecedented.
Actor Jonah Hill went on the Howard Stern show on Tuesday and revealed how little he was paid for his role in The Wolf of Wall Street.
I want to sign the contract so legally they can't change their mind.
The 30-year-old actor only made $60,000 for his 7 months of work on the Martin Scorsese film.
I would have paid him to work for him. You know, he's my hero.
Selflessly taking the minimum allowed salary, Jonah gave the production the freedom it needed to hire a stacked cast. However, that wasn't the only thing he contributed to on set.
In a lot of ways, Jonah Hill set the tone for this film, I think.
You gotta untie me, buddy.
I can't untie you.
Having somebody like Jonah on set was an amazing gift for us.
The captain tied you up, he almost fucking tasered you.
He really is one of the most unbelievable,
called the captain the N-word.
Unbelievably talented improvisational actors I've ever gotten the opportunity to work with.
Jesus Christ, I think you have a fucking drug problem.
The Wolf of Wall Street became a cult classic, earning Jonah Hill his second Academy Award nomination.
Did you expect this turn to happen? Did you think, oh, I'm gonna be the Academy guy who gets nominated every other movie?
So I guess I'll call you.
Yeah, give me a call. Jonah Hill, who is in many ways the busiest guy in Hollywood.
Put her there.
And he really has become one of the most talented actors working today.
It's been a really crazy couple of years.
Pete, you're good at it.
I'm just trying like every other hero. You know? Every day you go put one foot in front of the other, that's it. I think we live in a world now where people are celebrated for their minds and what they do with their minds in a way that we haven't been in years past.
Yeah.
You can eat that last piece of yellowtail, bud.
It's all yours.
And I kind of fell into this amazing 15-year acting career.
I just feel lucky. Come here. Come here, man. I think making movies is something that I feel really lucky I get to do.